A massive trade could be incoming for the New York Knicks as insider Fred Katz revealed the Knicks are targeting blockbuster trades this summer, and we have to break it down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do because Fred Katz recently revealed the Knicks are targeting blockbuster trades this summer. And let's just jump right in and see what Katz had to say on things. The Knicks are targeting this upcoming summer as the time to make a trade for the next star. If no one worthwhile presents himself, then they will turn their eyes to the 2025 trade deadline. So obviously something very shocking to see, but at the same time not too surprising, as we know the New York Knicks have been targeting big moves. They're in MSG. They've built a winning culture. They have a winning team. They have a team that could theoretically go to the finals with the... They don't even need to make a blockbuster trade to do so also. Like, let's be real. We don't need a superstar player. We have one. The Knicks have a star player on the team. They just need to make the roster a little bit better to ensure that they can contend with any single team in the NBA. I already think they can. I think they would have beaten Boston if their team was fully healthy. And with the way Boston is putting a beating on Dallas, I think fully healthy, the New York Knicks would have won the finals this year, if I'm being honest. That's the first year of my life I could ever say that. Now, they still want to make a trade. They have these assets for a reason. They've been stocking up draft assets, making their cap situation real nice for a good reason. They want to be able to make this blockbuster trade. Now, we're going to go back to the graphics because the Knicks' grand plan, according to Fred Katz, ever since President Leon Rose took over the front office in 2020, was to trade for the next big name, an MVP caliber talent who would want to join a newly minted winning culture in New York. And they've got the culture part down and already have the first star in Jalen Brunson, who's become an all-NBA MVP caliber New York Knicks star. Now, players are going to want to play with Jalen Brunson and this Knicks team that look like they're having the most fun out there while they're hardworking and winning games. The Knicks have somehow managed to go from the NBA's punchline to the ideal team. The Knicks just seem like a high-quality organization now, the way that the Miami Heat and the San Antonio Spurs do. I don't know how Leon Rose did it, but he absolutely did it and completely changed everything for the New York Knicks since he arrived here. Now, there's a lot of guys who the Knicks could potentially trade for, but it all comes down to what is going to happen with them and who is going to ask out. Now, I'm going to do a separate video on Donovan Mitchell, and I'm probably going to pair Mikal Bridges into that or do one on Mikal Bridges because we have news about both of them. Donovan one is dropping tonight, so you guys do want to stay tuned for that. So make sure you're subscribed right now. Check that. Hit the button because you guys don't want to miss that video. But we're going to go back to the graphics because, guys, I just like seeing that slide. It's kind of fun. But Jalen Brunson, to stay on topic, has become an NBA superstar. He's putting up nearly 29 points per game. He shoots threes like nobody's business now, hitting over 40% of his clips. He can create a lot of his shots. Around 40% of his threes that he takes and makes are not assisted threes. Other 60% are assisted. He's working inside the arc. He's shooting 46% on corner threes, so he can work off the ball to a degree. Also getting 7 assists in the process. The guy is just an NBA superstar. There's no other way to put it. He has fully become an NBA superstar. Now, the plan is, how do you pair someone with that? Well, you look here. And Fred Katz mentions Donovan Mitchell, someone who's been mentioned a lot. And he said if Mitchell were to hit the trade market this summer, league sources say the Knicks would not be as enthusiastic in their pursuit of him, and that's because the situation has changed. And honestly, that makes me pretty happy. Now, if you look at the Knicks, if you look at everything they do, they don't need another scoring guard. They just don't. They need someone who could just be another all-around type player who can maybe create his own shot. That's why if Paul George were younger, I think it would make all the sense in the world to go for him, but not at this age. You got to find someone who could fit that timeline, fit that culture, who can really just ball out for you. Now, I'm interested in seeing what happens. The Knicks have 8 first-round picks to work with. They could easily make a better trade package than most teams in the NBA, so it sets them up really well to make a good move here. I'm curious what that move is going to be, and I think the Knicks are too. That's why they've mentioned that 2025 trade deadline a bit, because once 2025 hits, they're going to have extensions due. Money's going to get a little tighter. So their best option is to do it before that 2025-2026 NBA season rolls around. They have one more season to do that right now, and that has begun. In a few days, the NBA season will be over. Officially, the Boston Celtics will have won the NBA Finals. Bostonians will go crazy. They'll have their time. And then the Knicks, like they already have been, have to get down to business. They have to talk to OG and Hartenstein. They have to go in there and figure out who might request a trade so they can get a jump on things, get a package ready, and be ready to absolutely pounce on any guy who fits the team who could request a trade. Now, I don't really think that that's going to come out until a bit later in the offseason, because if it would have, there would be more rumors about it now. But something crazy always happens. Every NBA free agency, someone gets upset, someone wants to join a new team. It happens without fail. So because of that, the Knicks have to be ready, and I think they're going to be. Leon Rose knows what he's doing. Tom Thibodeau talked about on the Roommates podcast yesterday about getting ready for the draft and free agency and checking out on stars and seeing who might want to join this New York Knicks team, who might be a good fit. And honestly, I can't wait to see what this New York Knicks team does. They've gained my respect to the point where I'm like, if you think this guy's going to work, I believe you. I fully believe what the New York Knicks are doing. They've basically never missed outside of Obi Toppin when it comes to the Leon Rose era, and that makes me very excited to see the future. Now, as Fred Katz also mentioned, they have until June 28th to either release the 35-year-old forward in Bojan Bogdanovic, which would pay him only $2 million for 2024-25, or to guarantee his $19 million salary. And if they decide on the latter, it might be a sign that a trade for a star is on the way. So when speaking of guys who are going to be a part of this, I'm sorry, that did not mean to happen. When speaking of guys who are really looking at this situation and just seeing the New York Knicks as an option, they are going to be ready to request a trade to the Knicks, and the Knicks have to be ready to be able to give a tradable contract. And that is where Bojan Bogdanovic comes into things. So if we see the Knicks have opted into Bojan Bogdanovic, it means they know someone. They have a plan. It's not like they just want to make a trade. It's that they know someone who they are going to go all out to make a trade for. So we need to stay focused. Once the NBA season ends, I mean, we have exactly 2 weeks because it's Friday, June 14th when this video is coming out and when I'm filming it. And we have exactly 2 weeks before Bojan has to either get that team option accepted or declined. Once the finals end, the Knicks are probably going to make that decision within the next few days. So we have to stay ready to see what's going to happen. Once that happens, regardless of what happens, I'm going to make a video on it. I'm going to jump right into how it affects things because there is a bigger effect to Bojan Bogdanovic than just the way that he affects the Knicks on the court. We've always known that's going to be the case. They wanted a tradable contract and a tradable guy. They have that in Bojan, an expiring deal, or someone who could be a next year expiring deal if that's what they need to have happen. So, guys, make sure to subscribe to Knicks Digest. We have a lot of content coming. I'm about to go on a heater and make a ton of videos because, hey, I feel like I've been slacking on y'all. We're going to knock that off right now. So, guys, make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment down below. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Go Knicks.